If you are fond of greed for money, bloody games, and spine-chilling Korean crime thriller films, congratulations. Even though your phone's battery is at 75%, you have clicked on a masterpiece film that will keep you glued till the very end. Watching it will send chills down the spine of even the strongest hearts. When an unimaginable amount of wealth is placed in front of a person, how their nature changes, how greed for money turns an honest person into a beast, if any film has shown this harsh truth in full nakedness and bitterness. The story begins with a very simple, dull, and tired face. His name is Choi. Choi is a humble, raw employee working in a government department in South Korea. His life is colorless. At 9 a.m. every morning, he was tasked with tracking the flow of black money of a very big and powerful rich man. Choi was given the duty of following the vehicle carrying millions in black money. Sitting in his ordinary car, he followed with great caution and boredom. Then suddenly comes the first and biggest twist in the story. The driver of the vehicle Choi was following hastily jumps a red light. In the very next second, a heavy and fast truck coming from the side crashes into that luxury car. The collision was so severe that the car shattered into pieces. Now the camera shifts to another character named Yufin. Yufin works as a tow truck mechanic in an automobile repair shop. She lives a small, dull life, taking a peaceful bubble bath with hot water and plenty of steam at the bathhouse. Just as she closes her tired eyes and steps into the bath's water, her boss's phone rings. The biggest pain of being a poor and helpless laborer is this. She reluctantly dresses her dirty clothes back on, starts the tow truck and heads straight to the accident site where the luxury car was smashed to pieces. After the police and others leave, Yufin begins her work. Yufin's desire grows. She slowly dips her head into the car and looks inside the suitcase. The next moment, her eyes widen in shock. Inside that suitcase and others next to it were brand new, crisp bundles of cash. Silently, she loaded that vehicle on her tow truck and left from there. Her heart was racing like a racehorse the whole way. There was a strange fear in her heart, but also a happiness she couldn't express. Yufin was no fool, so being smart, she took the accident vehicle to an abandoned junkyard on the city's outskirts and parked it there. She decided she would come back after midnight when everyone is asleep. But upon reaching there, she was stunned. Someone was already present near the vehicle. It was Lao Hai. Lao Hai was an African laborer working in this junkyard. He was actually an illegal immigrant with no valid documents. The two had known each other for years as they worked nearby. Yufin calmly explained to Lao Hai, "Look, let's split what we found equally. No one will tell anyone." Lao Hai immediately agreed. Together they began opening those heavy suitcases. The very same Choi who had been following that vehicle since morning had seen the whole incident and had also sniffed the scent of that money, reaching the junkyard on that cold night where three people stood face to face with no relation among them. The three decided they would split the money equally into three parts. While sharing the money, their eyes were fixed on each other. No one trusted the other. Everyone was mentally plotting to avoid being cheated. Lao Hai planned to take his portion of the money and immediately run back to Africa with his wife where they would live like kings. Choi and Yufin also liked this plan. They had their own selfish reasons behind it. Choi thought that that very night, the rich man got news that his vehicle had met an accident. He immediately sent his most dangerous and cruel boss with the whole team to the accident site. When the boss reached there with his team, he found the rich man gave the responsibility of finding Lao Hai to the very government department where Choi worked. Choi's senior officer, who thrived on scraps from those rich men, was made in charge of this case. The next day, CCTV footage was being examined. But one camera caught Lao Hai carrying the heavy suitcase. Choi's senior officer immediately ordered to blacklist this black man. He should not be allowed to leave the country at any cost. While giving these orders, the senior was unaware. She knew that if Lao Hai presented his passport at the airport or any legal place, an alarm would be triggered and he'd be caught immediately. Forced, Lao Hai had to send his wife and child abroad alone. Getting a fake passport made for Lao Hai, the underworld Don they approached was a very clever fox. As soon as the Don's eyes fell on the bag full of rupees with Lao Hai, his intentions turned dark. He began Blackmailing them? Lao Hai and Choi realized they were trapped badly. Even if they gave the money, the Don wouldn't let them live. Without wasting a moment, they snatched the fake passports from the Don's hands. Taking advantage of this chaos, Choi and Lao Hai fled from there. Lao Hai even jumped out from the second-floor window to save his life. But their luck was very bad that day, the noise in the black market caused. Now Choi and Yufin had millions of rupees, but death was chasing them. They decided to hide somewhere safe until the matter calmed down, somewhere where no one would suspect them. They chose the city's most expensive 5-star hotel. But when the intoxication of reality wore off, the headache was severe. Meanwhile, the rich man's goons used their contacts to take Lao Hai into their custody from the police. Lao Hai was taken to a deserted and dark warehouse. He was beaten with iron rods, his nails were pulled out. The most horrifying fact was that Choi also had to go to that warehouse with his senior. Silently standing in the corner, he watched his friend Lao